All right. Well, welcome everyone to another virtual training session. Uh, Today, we're going to build upon a little bit of what we did on Monday. So, for those of you guys that were with us on Monday, what we did was we talked about a hitter's toolbox and just being able to add some different uh, ways to score, different ways to hit the volleyball, attack the volleyball, and not all of it was all about swinging really hard. So in today's session, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about decision making, and we talk about this quite a bit in managing our game. Some things that we want to consider, especially early on when we go through hitters' decisions. Uh, General thoughts. Hitting is a big determinant of winning and losing. So when they studied this, obviously one of the big skills in volleyball is hitting. And we look at the number of kills and our kill percentage or our hitting percentage, and it really determines winning and losing. So that's why we spend so much time in actually addressing this and making sure that we have the proper mindset in terms of attacking and our decisions that we make. Second is a majority of our game is played out of system. So what we talk about, especially in volleyball, and especially at our level, our game is played out of system, meaning that the ball is not always dug to the target or passed to the target. And they say about 60% to 65% of our game is played out of system. So knowing how to take that third ball over when we're out of system, that's really an important part about our hitting percentages.
And the last one, getting blocked is better than an unforced error, meaning that we want to challenge the block a little bit more often. We consider getting blocked to be a good error and an unforced error to be a bad error. Too many times when we go up to swing, our tendency is always to avoid the block. So when there is a well-formed block, we want to hit away from it. This tends to lead to more unforced errors, such as hitting the ball out or into the net. If we challenge block more often, one, it makes it more difficult for the block or the back row defender to dig since the ball is being deflected. And two, the ball can remain in play if we cover the ball well or if the opponent digs the ball. Either way, we avoid the unforced error and the termination of the point.
When we assess a set or a situation, we know that the game is always random, that there could be anything that could happen at any point in time. Rather than trying to give you guys an answer to every single situation that happens out on the volleyball court, what we want to do is give you guys guidelines that will help you guys in terms of making some good decisions as an attacker. And what we've done is we break it down into three categories: green, yellow, and red. All right. So it's a green light, yellow light, red light situation. That's how we go ahead and make that happen. So first, what we want to do is we want to talk about green light situation. In green light situations, that means the situation requires you to go for it. Make sure that you're in a position to score. We look at it, the set is in a good location, that we're on time, and we have a strong approach. Even though sometimes we might be taking, instead of a four-step approach, we might be taking a two-step approach. But if it's still strong, again, that could be a green light opportunity for you.
Keep in mind that everyone's green light, yellow light, or red light is different and ranges in skill level. The better you are, the bigger your range with green light sets. In this first clip, we'll focus our attention on number 23, the outside hitter on the near side. I want you to notice as we start this clip is that the outside hitter, as she assesses the situation, she'll hesitate in her approach. This will allow her to get a much stronger approach and take a good rip at the ball. In the next series of clips, notice each of the outside hitters when they approach. They'll wait first to gauge the quality of the set. When they recognize that it's a green light type of set, they'll take a good strong approach to the ball with the intent to score. Our next situation are what we deem as yellow light situations. In this situation, we think of it as taking caution. The set won't be ideal in that it might be wide, off, or inside, and our approach might be abbreviated, slower, or simply we can't finish with a strong step close. In this situation, our mindset is simple, less about hitting it hard and more emphasis on hitting it to a specific area of the court. There are several strategies we can utilize when we come across a yellow light situation. We can try to force a setter to take the first ball, particularly if she's in the back row. We can hit it short and make a front row player take the first ball, and by doing so, it takes them out of the offense. We can make the setter set from an awkward angle by hitting it to zone 1 and forcing her to set across her body. More often than not, the back row defender tends to dig this ball more to the right side of the court, generally behind the target towards zone 2. Setters will then tend to set to the middle or right front position and not forcing it all the way to the left front spot. The last strategy is to hit a roll shot to zone 8, which is 13 to 15 feet off the net in the middle of the court. There are a number of positives in hitting it to this zone. The first is that it's very vulnerable. It most often causes a lot of confusion for a lot of defenses as to whose ball it is. The second positive is that it can force a front row player or off blocker to play the ball. In that case, many times they won't be able to transition, therefore eliminating one of the offensive threats. In the next series of clips, I've taken the liberty of identifying the strategies of each clip at the top of the screen. Our last category, red light sets or situations, we want to use extreme caution. This is a set where we cannot make any type of approach, so we shouldn't attempt to make a full jump or swing at all. Our mindset should be keeping the ball in play, preferably to a spot that makes it easier for us to defend. So in red light situations, we know there are going to be times where we are simply in survival mode and getting the ball over the net. However, when we can control the ball with a free or a down ball, we want to use strategies similar to yellow light situations. 1, see if we can make the setter play the ball or put the ball in their path. Second, we want to put the ball where the setter is setting from an awkward angle. Third, we might think about taking out the quick hitter by putting the ball short in front of them, roughly 5 to 7 feet. Then they'll have a difficult time getting a full approach. And lastly, see if we can get it away from their best defender, who's generally their libero. Now let's take a look at a few clips to give you an idea of how to utilize some of these red light strategies. Thanks again for tuning in. We hope this tutorial was informative for you as a hitter to make better decisions on the volleyball court. For more tutorials, please visit our YouTube page. Thanks again, and we'll see you back in the gym soon.